for you at the end of this webinar? What is one takeaway, one action item, what you're hoping to learn? Drop it in the chat now. And it's a great starting point for us to really focus on. I know you all didn't just come here to listen to me speak. That's very flattering. Well, what is your one takeaway that you want to get out of the session?
Some people vigorously typing. Particularly the prompt engineering portions. Okay.
What else we got, Mike?
To make it easier to communicate with buyers on Compass collections. That's gonna be right on point today. How to use AI to get listings. Marsha, you'll be able to understand that direction. We're not going to obviously talk specifically necessarily about listings, but we've got some crossover on execution. How to get more buyers using AI, easily implemented actions, how to use, how to utilize AI effectively with buyers with the Compass platform, any opportunities to improve our client experience, set up comments to buyers. This is great, guys. Can AI be used by a buyer when communicating via text? Talk about that. Utilize AI to make workflow more efficient, and how to get clients via social media and AI captioning. Oh, that's an interesting topic, Nora. I don't know that, Chirag, you'll have to speak to that. I don't know if that's in our content today, but it's an interesting topic when it comes to AI. How to get buyers more involved in using collections. That's a big part of our stuff today.
So let's get started. I'm happy to say that a lot of the things that you've all asked for are going to be covered today. So my name is Chirag Shah. I'm the founder of Chirag Shah Coaching. My apologies on my voice. I think I might be slightly talked out from all these events and holiday parties and everything else. So appreciate you bearing with me. This is not what I normally sound like. And I would say that my fun fact is I started my real estate career when I was 23 years old. I got my license and I literally had no idea what I was doing. So from the time I was 23, essentially, I was on this conquest to find information and be able to easily use it. And that's when I got introduced to coaching. And literally the programs, the communities, and everything that we've built for all of you secretly, and I don't think I've ever shared this on a webinar, is what I always hoped would happen for me, right? I show up to these sessions, I don't know how to do this. And it spends a lot of like what to do and not really how to do it. So, I've been spending my life's mission trying to make things easier for people, show them how to do it, give them the things they need. And, in 2018, Compass acquired my company. I worked there 2 years as a director of coaching and training. And over the last 4 years, we built the largest community, thanks to all of you, of Compass agents. We work with over 1,000 Compass agents in 38 states, and we only work with Compass agents, right? So we have a very unique perspective, I would say, on like the platform and how everything kind of integrates. So what we're here for today is how do we really create effective engagement with our buyers using AI? Well, before we get started with AI, let's talk about some of these general challenges that we have, right? So the world we live in today, we meet buyers, and our job essentially is to learn everything they want to know about a home in the community. And then after, if we're able to extract that information effectively, now we have to spend countless hours researching properties, writing personalized comments. Is this good? Is this bad? How does this correlate? And you all know, and I hope you feel the same way, is it seems buyers today want more and more pinpointed stuff. It's not general. It's not like, hey, I just want to live in this neighborhood. It's like, I want a 4-bedroom, 3.5-bedroom house on a flat acre of land with an open living room that looks like this. It's walking distance to the train station, a coffee shop. It's like, oh my God, right? And now we are spending endless hours looking at properties, writing comments, trying to get them to showings, going to show properties. And there's this thing inside of us that doesn't know if or when we'll ever get paid. And I think the biggest challenge we face is offering this kind of personalized service becomes very daunting, challenging, and overwhelming when you have to do it for more than a couple people. So the question is, why does this matter now? I always say new world, new rules. And as we get into what I believe the future of real estate is, it's about efficiency, productivity, and personalization. And with the emergence of technology and AI, there's a distinct advantage that you all have. right? So real estate as an industry is the slowest population of humans, I think, to adopt anything. When Zillow came out with Zillow reviews, it was this whole big thing in real estate when the whole world was basing things on client reviews for years on Google. So as an industry, we're always slow to evolve. So I always say speed to market and speed to implementation of new things. Like think about when online leads came out. The people that were the slowest to adopt to the new online consumer got left behind. Same thing with social media and same things with a lot of these big trends. Now with AI, I would say the difference between an agent that uses AI is like here and here, because a lot of people are still trying to figure out how to use it. But I think in this next year, it's going to go from here to here. And the people that use AI will be able to work faster, more efficiently, with more accuracy, be more productive, earn more money, create better experiences for their clients, and operate at scale. Now, one of the big advantages, I think, of AI is growth versus scale. Growth is kind of what we were talking about before. It's more manual effort, more hours, and it leads to burnout, frustration, and overwhelm. Scale is through systems, operations, and technology. So let's get into how we use AI to really scale our business, right? So if you're going to write anything down right now, what I want you to write down is my goal in 2025 is to scale my business, right? I want all of us, and what you'll learn today, and a huge takeaway is how to get time back into your day, right? Because technology provides you systems and time, right? So who here, hit yes in the chat if you've heard this word prompt, prompt engineering, prompt this, prompt that, and it just seems very confusing, right? Hit yes if you share these sentiments, right? And people use weird words with this. They call them queries. I don't know what a query is, right? I want to make things like simple, it's like you got to talk in real estate terms. So if you look at a prompt, it's really a bridge between what you intend, your intent, and the AI's output, right? So if you provide context and guide AI to perform your desired task accurately. So let's like digest that. That's like a Google definition. So let me put this into like human terms. Communication without context is miscommunication. So what you put in to ChatGPT or any AI platform is the quality of the output you get. If you put something vague, lacking details, you're going to get a general response, and it's going to use its mind to think of whatever it thinks is the best solution. And the next point is the quality of the AI's response depends on the quality of the prompt. We'll share with you later what like a super prompt looks like. And I'm talking about prompts that are literally like this long, paragraphs of information, right? Ryan, I see your eyes just lit up like a slot machine, right? So if you think about this, how can you scale yourself through technology? How can we create better personalized experiences where our buyers are getting more value, they're able to make decisions faster, it feels luxury and tailored to, which takes our time from here to here, right? Because imagine if you're working with 5, 7, 10 buyers at once in all different areas and you're just clicking properties. This takes endless hours, right? So let's go through what I call the new AI buyer workflow. Now, integration is the most important part of using technology, right? Because anything done in a silo lacks the knowledge and output of the entire system, which is the client experience, right? So it all starts in the beginning. So where's my little box here bear with me. It all starts with the buyer consultation, right? And it's asking the right questions. Now, when we're asking the right questions, what does that really look like? Well, what you want the buyer to understand quickly is that general websites are not going to be able to help them search and find the things they want. Now, as an agent, what does that really look like, Chirag? Well, the first thing is I would ask them a certain set of questions, right? So a question is, I would ask them, like, look, we believe a home is where you build memories, a community is where your life happens. We want to help you find your perfect lifestyle in Westport, Connecticut. So would it be okay if I asked you a few really important questions? They're going to say yes, right? And you're going to say, when you think of a home, what's most important to you? And they're going to start with the bedrooms, the bathrooms, the updates, and all that general stuff that everyone gets. right? And then I'm going to ask them what's most important to you in the community. Then I'm going to ask about the neighborhood. Those are the three distinct factors that people look at when making a decision to buy a property. And then I'm going to do in sales what's called a pattern interrupt. I'm going to ask a random question that literally throws their mind somewhere else. I'm going to say, hey, Jeff, has anyone taken the time to ask you what your functional flow is? And they're going to say, what is a functional flow? Our goal is to help you find a home that your lifestyle fits into. Can I share with you one of the challenges most people looking for homes have? And they're going to say, yeah, they look at it as bedrooms, bathrooms, and just updates and space. When really we want to understand your functional flow on how you live inside of a house during the week, on the weekends, holidays, entertaining, what rooms are most important to you, what's most important in part of the community, and how that actually your functional flow of a week and how you live is. Now you're going to be able to collect all of this information, right? So now the next question is going to become, Chirag, how can I listen and take notes at the same time? AI, Claude. Now, Claude is an AI ChatGPT 4.0 powered voice recording device. It is thin as one of like those little stick-ons on the back of your cell phone where like you can put your ID in, and this can capture the entire conversation, right? The whole thing. Now, as an agent that works at a billion-dollar technology company, what if our clients, do we have to tell them we're recording us? I hear this every single time. You want to tell your clients you're recording them. You can say, hey, Ryan, Jeff, and Diane, you have three screens I can see, and Mike, it says, look, we want to utilize AI to effectively capture every detail you say, because we believe that every word, thought, and feeling you share is essential to us getting this right for you. So would it be okay if I recorded the conversation so I can just listen, and then I'll summarize everything in a recap for you within the first half hour of our meeting being done. So we just make sure that we're on the same page and we don't miss anything important. Are you able to do this right now for your buyers? Some of our clients are using plot notes, right? But you don't. But this is the benefit of technology. You have every single word that they said captured. Now think about just if you use the plot note, how much better your buyer's experience would be. How much better would your notes be in your CRM? How much easier is it to create personalized follow-up? This all integrates together. Then you can summarize the conversation through AI to pull out all of the information in minutes. Then the next part is you can train an AI in a chat search thread, which will show you how to do, on your buyer's unique lifestyle needs. And then based on that, you can literally do your normal search, put the properties and collections that you think that fit their needs, and then one by one, put them through ChatGPT, and it's literally going to spit you out personalized information for the property. Hit yes if you want that workflow and to see how it works.
Lots of yeses.
Lots of yeses. Now, I love Compass Collections. I think it's one of the things that really sets us apart. It's one of the things that we really heavily lean into in our buyer consultations and every conversation we have with a buyer. But do you know what the challenge is with Compass Collections? Drop it in the chat what you think the biggest challenge is with Compass Collections. Let's see what we're getting. Or if anyone could even guess what it is. All right, Mike, we got a couple coming in.
Everything from responding quickly, having obviously buyers use it, staying current with comments. It's broad, complex, narrowing search, relying on the version for the conversation, or relying on just that for the conversation. Not enough detail for buyers. They prefer Zillow. Clients were more interested in using Redfin. Spits out too much emails. Where is the functional workflow, search criteria, and collections? We'll cover that, Beth. All
right, so not one person
like the complexity and the use for the most part.
Time. Leonard Steinberg says time is the greatest luxury we have. Do you know how much time it takes to sit there and just sift through property after property after you've now convinced and sold to people on this personalized experience, right? The comments and collaboration of all the decision makers in one place is one of the biggest sales points that we make when talking about collections. And then you have the buyer that gives you like the most pinpointed, sometimes needle in a haystack search. And now you're like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And you have to literally sit through every single property, one by one by one by one, reading the details, reading the location, going on Google Maps or going on Apple Maps and seeing how far certain things are. It's crazy, right? But if this is a world we live in where everyone wants personalized service based on, the commission that they're paying, how do you do this for everybody when this is the thing as buyers agents at Compass most people lean into the most, right? So this is where we're going to get into our actual workflow. So I'm a big believer in, don't tell me, show me, right? So let me show you how this all works. So let me open up my screen here. All right. Oops. Bear with me here for 1 second. All right. Can everyone here see my screen? All right. So we talked about the word prompt, right? Where it says message ChatGPT in a simple way, an explanation, this is where you put your prompt in. And a prompt is nothing more than what you want ChatGPT to do. It's what you're here for. It's the starting point. And just look at this as a conversation, right? And just some high level things to think about is there's going to be a lot of back and forth. Just if you're, imagine you're in a room talking to a person, right? You're going to give a person a certain set of directions. They're going to tell you what they heard. They're going to answer it the best of their knowledge. You're going to give it more information. Well, this kind of sounded right. Well, maybe could you change this? Like imagine I was here with you and you're directing me and I was doing this for you. So I'm going to put in this prompt. It's going to say, I am working with two buyers, Wayne and Cherish. They love going out to eat, are not homebodies, looking for a walk-friendly location, and I need to be able to communicate with them in a way that speaks directly to their goals, right? So that's the context I'm giving it. Ask, and you could spell things wrong clearly here. Ask me 5 questions one by one so you can best understand them so you could help me in writing effective emails when I find homes they like. Now, here's something really important for you all to know. If I took out this one line right here, ask me 5 questions one by one so you, meaning the AI, can best understand them, it would change the entire output of this because it's going to make its decisions and knowledge based on this information I gave them. So in anything you do, right, you could say, I'm looking to do blank. Please ask me 5 questions, 10 questions, 20 questions, one by one. So, and then insert the benefit. You can help me write an effective emails when I find homes I like. So I'm going to put this in. So it's like, what specific restaurants and cuisines? Copy and paste this in. I'm going to say Wayne likes Italian food. Cherish likes sushi and Asian fusion. Beyond dining, what other activities, amenities do they value and walk in? I'm going to say they like a vibrant dining scene and they're looking for a home. They're looking for a home in Westport, Connecticut. You gotta remember, I haven't even told them where they're looking for a home. And all of the above for activities and amenities. All of the above. And the places need to be less than half a mile walking. Do you notice how I said half a mile walking? Because walking distance is not clear, it's not concise, it's not quantifiable. Are there any specific home features? Now, this is where it gets interesting. So you can put weird stuff and unique things in here like this. Large backyard to host parties, entertain, and hobby farm with chickens, right? This was actually someone's example that a client gave them. Great. Let's put this in. So now it's asking what kind of tone, right? I'm going to say friendly, detailed, and informative. So now watch this. Now I'm going to put in a property link from Compass. Now check this out. So it's going to write here, I hope this message finds you well. And it goes through and starts explaining to them this modern farmhouse. It has a bunch of information. It starts putting information and context together for these people. So now this isn't exactly what I want, right? So this looks like a lot of information. This provides basic stuff that they could find online. This really isn't adding value. So now, remember I said it's a conversation? Can you write me an email that will speak directly to how this home fits the goals and expectations and lifestyle that I shared with you is important to them? I couldn't wait to share this home with you because it feels like a perfect match for the vibrant, walkable lifestyle you've envisioned. Client is going to feel seen and heard. What makes this home perfect for you? Unmatched walkability, located less than a half a mile from some of Westport's best dining, park, shops. This home offers a vibrant neighborhood feel you're looking for, whether you're craving Italian or Asian fusion, your favorite restaurants are a short stroll away. Expansive outdoor space. Look at this one. The large backyard is ideal for hosting legendary gatherings, entertaining friends, and even creating your own hobby farm with chickens. It's a space designed for the kind of connection and creativity you both enjoy. A home built for entertainment with over 6,300 feet of modern design. This home's great rooms, chef's kitchen, and seamless indoor-outdoor floor, perfect for creating memorable moments with families and friends. A lively community. Beyond dining and amenities, location provides easy access, community events, parks, and more, exactly the kind of vibrant, walk-friendly lifestyle you describe. This isn't just a home. This home isn't just a place to live. It's a place to thrive and build a lifestyle you're dreaming of, right? I don't like the word dreaming of, right? But again, here's one thing that you have to remember when using AI. It is not a perfect solution. There is some human effort, but now I want you to step back and think, how much time would it have taken you to go through a home, to look and find all of this information, put in an email, specify the context, hit the word time in the chat if you feel this will save you a lot of time. Well, let's get an idea of where everybody is.
So obviously speak to the fact, I think there's comments around, accessing property as well. right, Chirag? And the fact is that obviously we still have to provide the property. AI is not doing necessarily a property search. It can't log into the MLS on your behalf. And then I've got tons of just time savers, which,
So wait, we're not done here with the magic, Mike.
yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you.
I'm gonna put another property in here now, right? And watch just how this gets better and better. So again, it did the same thing, right? So now I'm going to re-engineer it again. And I'm going to write, I'm going to keep adding properties. I need you to first break down each property by key features, locations, considerations for Wayne and Cherish, all based on what you know about them prior to writing the email. So something like this, right, is more in alignment that you could copy and paste into your collection, right? Obviously, I recommend everyone check what this is against the properties. Everyone else is going to ask me, do they scan all the properties? Yeah, they scan all of the properties, right? So now I'm going to put the same property back in, right? And let's see what it does. Location, more detailed considerations, right? So even as an agent, before we get even into super prompts or anything like that, this is giving you your 0 to 1, right? So if you're sitting there with buyers, you've picked the houses, you picked the neighborhood, you've done your manual part. Now you can put them in here one by one, right? Write the email now with this information. I'll get to your question. So can't spell, guys, if you can tell. Uh,
Give us a little bit of narrative, Chirag, just because some of this is a little bit hard to see.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait.
Thank you.
Better?
A lot better.
All right, cool. So I'm now asking it, can you summarize both properties in the same format, highlighting pros and cons based on their specific needs that were highlighted to you? So here's pros and cons. And now there's recommendations, right? And then if you want to get more granular, build this into a table format, right? So someone with no knowledge of either home can clearly understand the pros and cons. Now, how much time would it take you to do this? Now, let's let this get really interesting. Now, those of you who are talking about search, and I encourage you to match this, right? This thing is never 100% accurate. Now, go to compass.com and list all the properties that fit the criteria from Wayne and Cherish. Now, here's the next one. List of properties regardless of who the listing agent is. We got to make sure, right? Because you don't know the context of what it's thinking about. So in this first one, we had 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 properties, right? Now I'll put the next one in. Add the list price, and they're looking for the $2 to $4 million range and provide all the listings regardless of who the listing agent is. So now it's going in here and it's going to put this together. Now you can say in the next prompt, how far is the walk to each place added to the listing? This thing can't search private exclusives because those are just private to Compass and our internal database, but anything that's publicly on the internet, it can do, right? So now it's going to start sharing all the walkable aspects and everything, right? So to give you all an idea, hit yes in the chat if you have something that you can actually now feel that you can go implement and use in your business to save you time and earn you some more money. This was the goal today. Right? And you don't need any high-end technical skills. You don't need any unique abilities to do this. And this is the benefit of AI. And like what we wanted to share with you is this is exactly what we do with our clients, right? We will give you all the information so you can put it in and not spend endless time trying to figure it out. It is easy, right? But it's understanding the right system, the right flow, the right prompts, right? So what I want to share with you now is what is a super prompt. Yes, I use the $20 a month version, right? Like the AI 4.0. If you go out to lunch and you buy a salad or you buy a sandwich or you're buying Starbucks coffee, you can buy the $20 version. The amount of questions we get about, right, should I really buy it? 100% you should buy it, right? Because now think about this. If you're competing against an agent that's doing this, how does this all tie together? We'll show you super prompts and then Mike's gonna have some important stuff to share with you as well. Is I can now show buyers in my collections how personalized it is. And then when we show the level of personalization and they share with us that, you know, I want to live somewhere and I could hobby farm chickens and walk here, you could say, hey, can any of these websites, can Zillow provide this level of detail? No. Can any of these websites do that? And they're automatically in their head realizing why they should sign your buyer's representation agreement and pay you the commission that you deserve, right? So let's get into what is a super prompt. So this is where you can do this with regular chat GPT. The other one's just a lot smarter and you'll get a better output, right? So if it's not in your budget, don't do it. I'm not telling everyone to do it, but I think that most of us can do this, right? And now for every different buyer you start a new thread. So you can search the buyer's names within chat GPT. Now let me show you some stuff that will really blow your mind away. And yes, we will share this with everybody. This is a super prompt, right? So remember we talked about summarizing what the AI taught you? This walks you through, you can put the transcript in, you hit shift, enter, and you put this in, right? You're an AI assistant helping a real estate agent analyze a conversation transcript with a potential home buyer. Your task is to carefully read through the provided transcript and identify buyer's preference, unique experiences or lifestyle factors. Those go back to the questions. Community characteristics, any other relevant details. and it's going to spit out all of the information you need, right? And then from there, you can go into here. And this will set up a much better experience when looking at properties, right? Because you're giving it the context. I don't have any conversations with actual buyers that I can put in here, but if you followed our flow of asking the right questions, recording it with your plot, summarizing it with this prompt, then training your workflow on identifying all these things and then putting properties, the level of personalized experience and the speed at which you can do this in is unmatched. So an agent doing this is going to be able to work faster, smarter, more effective, more personalized. And the 200 plus of you are here today. If you're competing with another agent that doesn't know how to do this, I guarantee you'll win. Because what you can demonstrate to a buyer, buyers are going to think you're actually sitting here and taking the time to do this, right? It's unmatched, right? So those are what super prompts are. This is how AI works. This is how you personalize your collections. This is how you can do your search. And again, this is something we'll figure out for many of our clients are on here. We'll figure this out, and we have for all the different parts of our program and each one of these sessions. But also, you have to keep using this, right? It's something that continues to evolve. Be curious. Spend more time playing around with this than you do on Instagram stories. Mike?
Sorry, mute was stuck. Hi guys. Yeah, I wanted to cover a couple different things too here, just to answer some of the questions, Chirag, that's come in, because I love AI like everyone else, and I was new to AI, 6 months to a year ago, and what I learned from the word engineering prompts was just learning the way to ask for things. And so I remember when I first took an assignment, I said, okay, my dishwasher broke, and I went to chat and I said, chat, what do I need to give you information wise for you to be able to produce help in me fixing my dishwasher? And it gave me, here's all the information that I need. Like, you don't have to always guess. You can say, hey, chat, what do I need to provide for you for this task or this authorization, this little thing to work? And it will kick out, hey, this is the best part of the information. But when we're looking at things like profiles and buyers and properties, you could take 10 property links, right? And say, okay, here are the 10 properties my buyers are really looking for that I ran a search that organized in their favor. And I could say, here's their profile. Here's what they're looking for. This is the kind of people they are. This is what they like to do. And I can say, prioritize these properties for me, rate them from 10 till 1 based on what percentage of these goals are met, given the property specifics that it has access to. And it can organize that really quickly and give you a verb on everything. So there is so much that what Chirag just covered can teach you, that I think it's just really important for you guys to jump in and really just try and explore and have fun with it. It's the fastest, easiest way for you guys to learn. So for us today, like if you were a yes, meaning that like you got value out of this, you're like, this is something that I could definitely use, and you're the type of individual who wants more support with it, stay on, because we're going to talk about a little bit about our program and our coaching and really what it looks like to work with Chirag Shah Coaching throughout the year. If that is not for you, by all means, thank you guys for attending. Thanks for coming. And I'm going to shift into a conversation a little bit about problems that the real estate industry faces and how we try to address those as a coaching company. So one of the biggest things that we've learned over the last, and we've got almost probably 100 years experience. Is that right, Chirag, out of all the coaches and everybody that are here?
And we've all sold real estate.
We've all sold real estate. I've personally I've been teaching real estate and sales now for 15 years around the country. I've taught it in 46 different states. And one of the growing concerns I think that every brokerage is trying to address is this 87% failure rate, right, within the industry. And that's 87% of people don't make it to their 5-year mark. And so when we've investigated this, obviously as a coaching company, we want to put together programs and support that help, erase this percentage for agents and decrease the probability of this. And so what we've noticed is that the biggest industry problem isn't necessarily knowledge or the access to the right kind of people, but it comes down to the fact that most agents are juggling a dozen different systems and a dozen different hats that they're wearing for their own business every single day. You've got prospecting, you got business development, you got client nurturing. You're trying to work on transactions while you're doing research for other clients and providing customer service. And so what happens is that eventually, because you can only do one of these at a time, you're jumping back and forth between these wheelhouses, and these things all really need to operate simultaneously. And so over time, it creates burnout. We see agents just basically, they'll either have these big starts and stops of income, or they'll end up never really getting off the ground when it comes to the development of their own business. And so what we have found the solution to be, which is it's easier said than done, is consistency and systems. If you have the consistency in outreach, you have the consistency in the prospecting habits, and you have the systems that actually help run the business while you're doing the other things, the stuff that you're good at, we see that time over time replicate success. And so a lot of you, when you looked at Compass and you said, hey, here's my option, right? Most agents joined Compass because of the $1.6 billion technology platform. And with all of the great stuff that brings, it also brings a level of complexity. And so as a coaching company, we have to address that as well, because we are an exclusive to Compass coaching company when it comes to real estate. So we created a program that we feel like, and this is probably the third rendition now, Chirag, of the revenue roadmap. We've created a program that we feel like addresses both the content needs for real estate professionals around the country, but also addresses that consistency and systems facet so that you understand what to do and how to do it. And then you have the support to take action and put it into implementation throughout the year. So I'm going to talk about a little bit about the tracks, because obviously that's really important. All of our tracks, they run simultaneously. So we've got 4 tracks that operate every single week. They run for 12-week periods, because if we put you in something for 6 weeks or a week, it's not enough time. You need 12 weeks to really build a track record and have some support and accountability on something. But we offer things in prospecting, right? You want to attract more clients. You want to build and streamline, your business and leads. We will teach you everything that you need to know about prospecting, how to do it right, how to create a long-term business from your sphere of influence within this particular world. We also realize, though, that there's buyer representation, there's seller representation. There's a lot of things that we want to provide as far as the lead experiences and really stand out with our services. So we have 12-week tracks on both of those. And for those of you who are team leads, team leadership starts with you. Like, if you want to recruit more people, if you want to have clarity on what your value proposition is, and you want to build a profitable team, this program is honestly, there's an advantage for team leaders, because it comes with up to 10 members of your team. If you purchase the team leader pack, that you can plug into all of our program for the entire year, which means that we are training your agents while you're also learning on your own how to be a better team leader and how to recruit and develop a stronger, more productive team at the same time. So we've got all of these tracks as far as our content. These are courses that are every week. Every single week you can plug into your buyer track. We recommend, and Chirag will talk a little bit more about this, but we recommend you choosing one track at a time, because one track at a time is gonna be more than enough focus and work for you to really excel. And then it's after those 12 weeks, we take a 1-week break, and then everybody can transition into a new track and really kind of develop and learn there. What we've noticed over the years, though, is that information is it's one thing to get the information and be told, okay, go do this, and here are the resources and tools. It's another thing to have the actual support of an accountability group that is also very track specific. So every single track also has an accountability group that goes with that track. These are peer led by fellow Compass agents that understand our system, that know what to do within these particular tracks. They are there to help apply the learned concepts, to answer questions, to understand the difference between somebody in California versus someone who's got a problem in Florida. And it's really also to help build, your Compass referral network, because this is the best place for you to come and also, engage with other agents that are working and also working on the same things you're working on. So the accountability groups are really important. As a company, we have some unique benefits. We're specific to Compass. Compass Marketing Center integration. We know everything that there is to know about Compass technology. Like, Chirag has not only taught that at the Compass level as an employee, he's integrated that into every single session that we talk about in regards to coaching. And so whether that's integration of AI, whether that's integration of the Compass tools and its platform, everything that we offer that are start to finish systems have been integrated with Compass technology. So that's a really unique benefit for us as a coaching company for you. What's the purpose? At the end of the day, I could go through all the different advantages and all the different things this program provides. But our mainstream purpose every single year is to create a consistent year-round revenue stream and to increase that every single year for clients and agents that are a part of the program. And so when we look at, what is the cost, the investment for an individual agent is $3,500 for the entire year. That's paid in full or 12 payments of $400. If you are a team leader, it is $5,500. This does include up to 10 team members. And let's say you've only got 5 team members right now, and you're like, Mike, I want to use this though, maybe as a recruiting tool or something of that nature moving forward. I want to be able to incentivize people into my team. I'm going to provide them access to this program and training and coaching. You can absolutely do that. You don't have to fulfill your full 10 right out the gate. So it's $5,500 paid in full, or it is 12 payments of $625. Now, as a bonus, we want to also give people additional support and time, especially if they're taking action, immediately following these kinds of opportunities or events that we host. And so one of the bonuses we're offering is one-on-one coaching sessions with Chirag. That is a one-on-one session where Chirag can sit down and he can talk to you all about your business and really look at your objectives and your goals and come up with a plan that really helps set you apart in 2025. And Chirag, I'll let you kind of go through that as we kind of end here. But I do like to show this slide because I think it's incredibly helpful for people to render like a return on investment for this program. If you do one deal, just one, right? One more extra deal that comes from your membership of this program throughout the entire year, it's somewhere between a 220 to 417% return on investment. If you do 3 deals, 5 deals, like the return on investment is phenomenal. So from a pricing standpoint, I don't think we have made a program that is more affordable or provides a better context of the real estate environment. And then the fact that it's specific to Compass is really the cherry on the top. So Chirag, I'm going to put this up right now. And what I'll do is I'm also going to put in the chat some of the links directly to this. But if you have your cell phone, you can obviously use the QR codes. If you want to use a link, we'll be sending it out in a post email, but I also want to put it in the chat right now if they want to take action.
All right, so one, you can put your questions in. So I'm reading a question here. Do you integrate AI into your sessions the same way you did today? So I can tell you this, right? I'm on my not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rendition of updating programming because we're going through every single session to figure out how we can integrate AI, these workflows, super prompts into your business, right? Because look, in my household, my kids are 8 and 11, and my daughter comes up to me the other day, Daddy, can I see your phone? Sure, what do you want? I want to go on ChatGPT. Why do you want to go on ChatGPT? Because I have to make this recipe and bring it in on Monday, and it's made for adults. She goes, I was like, so what are you going to do? I'm going to take a picture with it and say, explain so a 3rd grader can understand. Because she knows what to do, right? So for all of you that are wondering, this is not a one-off thing. We've figured out how to integrate this into almost everything that we do. So if this is the kind of support you want throughout the year in just having it done for you, right? So I think the biggest challenge people have, Mike, is figuring out what do I put in here? How do I type it? How do I get it to do what we want it to do? And look, I always say the best benefit of our program is first the community, the people, right? And second is that we like to do everything for you. Right. So I want to build a system and then give it to you and then just show you how to use it. Right. So when you think about coaching, it's addition by subtraction. The amount of people that think going to a lot of sessions equals a great ROI, it's actually the complete opposite of what you want to do. So if you're trying to learn something new, you want to focus on one source or improve and go deep. Right. It's not going, if you're making like a food recipe or making a meat sauce, you don't want to go to 5 different chefs with 5 different recipes and all these ingredients and try to figure it out. Every person I've talked to, I've told them, do not attend all 3 sessions every week. If you're working on your buyer side, seller side, prospecting side, all and everything equal nothing. It's why people continuously end up being challenged with the same things year after year. Now think about it. If you look at somebody like Steph Curry, his free throw percentage is about 93%. He still has a coach on his team and he still practices his free throws. Why? Because that consistency and going deep and doing the same thing over and over again is what will take your business to the next level. Hit yes in the chat if you think having more accountability in 2025 would be helpful. I'm going to put yes, yes, and yes. So one of the things that we've learned, right, is A, it takes time to learn things. B, life happens, right? Things do get in the way, but we want to be able to provide a higher level of support. So one of the things that we're most excited about is a role that we call the head of happiness. So we'll be having people now, just like today, sign into the Zoom sessions. And for our clients, we'll be able to know when something happens, right? So her whole job is to check in, reach out, and God forbid you disappear. And what we find is sometimes something happens where it might be a couple weeks, a month, 6 weeks, and then people get this idea in their mind that they're so far behind that they just check out. And we don't want that, right? As a company, the one thing we care about the most is that you actually use the information you have. So this way, if something happens, it's part of the reasons why the tracks go every 12 weeks. Look, everyone can have something happen in their life that could affect them for a period of time. But every new quarter, you get to start over again, right? So if you're the type of person that wants to have a great business and a great life, this is for you. If you're an agent sitting here that says, I've always wanted to use technology to have more time and be more productive and earn more money, this is for you. If you want to learn how to build a Compass referral network, right? And most agents don't realize 1 out of every 5 deals is a Compass agent-to-agent referral. This is for you, right? So Mike, I'm going to take this down for a second just so we could actually like see people, right? Look, there's 80 some odd of you here today. And what I find is when we're sitting here, what's really interesting is at least 5 to 7 people here are already re-signed up for next year. So they're obviously interested in this. You can ask them of what their experience is, but you're generally thinking about things like, is this for me? How will this work? I might be too busy. This is what my business is. So I'm here to answer any question you have, right? So we generally find it takes maybe 1 or 2 people to start a conversation and then it really starts. So who here has a question?
I got a private question that came to me, Chirag, just about the annual access. So that is a January to December thing. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
How does the accountability process work? So when we define our clients, right, it's the people actually signed up. So if you're a team leader, you're the client, right? If you're an agent that signs up, you're the client. We track literally when you come into the sessions, right? So we'll know if you're logging in. So if you miss a week, you might get an email or a text. You miss 2 weeks, you get another email or text. You miss a few weeks, somebody's going to actually call you and say, hey, Mark, what's going on? We want to make sure you get back in. Would it be helpful to go to an accountability group or what needs to happen for you to keep the promise you made to yourself? So we also have peer-led accountability groups. When you start building relationships with other Compass agents and role-playing and practicing, people tend to show up for other people better than they do themselves. So we find accountability groups a huge way to drive ongoing attendance and engagement. And this year, myself and our leadership coach, David, are coaching the accountability leaders, giving them the materials. So it's not like you heard Chirag say this on the main session and now the accountability session is something different. It's only for people in Chirag Shah Coaching. And each week, it's a direct extension of the topic that you learned. Linda said, if I signed up a while back ago, if you signed up, Linda, I don't know when you signed up, but you could just email me. If you signed up and you renewed, you have a one-on-one session. So we can use the session for anything you want. I have done everything on these sessions from write people's past clients and centers of influence emails, rewrite web copy, build people's schedules, work on objection handling, team building. Look, you fill out an in-depth intake form. And after you do this so many times, our team actually counted this, that we've done 17, or I've done over 17,000 hours of coaching here at Compass. We have teams that we work with that do upwards of $500 million. Why is that important? Because we know what works in businesses, especially at Compass, and what the top agents are doing. So we can just share it with you, right? If you're a new agent, the reason I think this is the best thing that you could do is, one, you don't have any habits to unlearn. Sorry for all the experienced people, right? But the other part is, if you're not able to effectively articulate what you do in exchange for the compensation you receive, you will lose money, or commission will get discounted because people don't understand what they're getting. It's like when you walk into the Holiday Inn, if they said a room's $500, you can be like, what am I getting for $500? I don't understand. You walk into the Four Seasons and like a room's $500, you might think I'm getting a deal, right? You want to be a Four Seasons luxury agent. So you need to know how to prepare, pitch, execute, and follow through, right? So you need a system to do that. You need to know the words to say, the materials to present, and ultimately understand that the real sales starts after somebody hires you. And the best form of prospecting, I always say, is a great client experience. Does anyone have more questions? Because you're all here for something. Arthur, we're going to send you the super prompts, right? Like, we want you to use the information. So I didn't show you the prompts not to give them to you. That's just not who I am as a person. So who here has a question? Arthur, you want to unmute yourself? You want to ask a question? You good? Oops. All right, go ahead if you want to try.
Yeah, so it was just to see those dropped into the prompts and see how it sort of fills out. I mean, I love it that we're going to get them, and that wasn't really a concern, but just to see it applied, probably take just a couple minutes. It seems like it's pretty tight, but I get it. If we don't have time, we'll just drop them in on our own. Thank you. This was great, though.
Yeah.
Really
You're
appreciate it.
So we have a few more minutes here. Does anyone have any questions about a program, how it applies to them? We have an annual client event. It's a pretty robust experience, right? And as Robert says, nobody succeeds alone. And I think people can really shift their mindset into implementation and just taking what they have available to them and using it, right? Like, I would say that's the biggest distinct benefit. In this program, you don't have to figure anything out for business. All of it's done to you. The systems are made, it's handed to you, and we literally just teach you how to use it, right? So, what scares me the most in the world, and this is not a business thing, it's a personal thing. And I would say this, and I say this with all due respect to everyone here, is the lack of confidence that we have in ourselves. And I'll explain that to you in detail. Our program's less than $10 a day. So it's not even about cost. If you go to Starbucks, you'll buy a coffee. If you're hungry, you'll go buy a $20 salad. Most of the people here at Compass, if they want to go out to eat, they don't even think about it like this. They'll go out to eat this week, next week, the week after that. It's not a big decision, right? But when it comes down to spending that similar investment in ourselves, all of a sudden it turns into something very complex. We overcomplicate it. We overthink it. We're not really sure. Will this work for us? But then if our friends are like, hey, we're going to be in town, you want to go out to eat? Yep, no problem. I'll go do it. And we'll spend money on food and drinks, and enjoying the stuff, and we'll do it again, right? And I think if the entire world looked at ourselves and put the mirror this way and said, the greatest investment that I can make is in myself, for me and all the people around me that depend on me, we would all be in a better place. Like, so whether you do it here or somewhere else, like, I'm neutral to that. But we all need to invest in ourselves. If Michael Jordan had a coach and needed to go to practice, and he's the greatest basketball player alive, Tiger Woods in golf, Michael Phelps in swimming, Robert Refkin being the CEO of Compass, everyone needs a coach and practice and structure. Because for all of us that have kids, if your kids didn't want to go to practice, they didn't want to do the same things over and over again, we give them this lecture. You need to go to practice. You're never going to get better. But then when we go to work, we do something different. Right. So something I want you all to think about. So Arthur, shoot your question.
So Mike, I was trying to type it out, Mike, but it was a little bit complicated. we say, you're going to be our assistant. Okay. That's one of the prompts that we say to describe how ChatGPT is helping us. Can we give that assistant a name, like, let's say Refkin? And then every time we ask the assistant Refkin to help us, it will be specific to that client, Robert Refkin, and what he's looking for, the farmhouse and the chickens and all that other stuff. Or can you bifurcate it that way?
Yeah.
Or is, because
So
that would be super, like
you can say,
anytime a new
hey,
house comes on, say,
hey, Chad, anytime I mentioned this name, I wanted to reference this client information. You just need to give
yes,
it that perspective. I will say though, based on, hundreds of applications, at a, especially on the free account standpoint versus a 4.0,
sure.
et cetera, the redundancy is helpful. So it might be including that prompt 3 or 4 times, when you use it, before
Yeah.
you kind of stop using it and it fully remembers everything. It catalogs a lot of stuff, but what I have found is that it's constantly trying to prioritize that
Yes.
information. So if you are jumping between, let's say, three to 5 clients at a time, probably not an issue. If you're jumping between 30 and 50 clients at a time,
Yeah.
reinitiating that prompt for 3 or 4 times will help it edge. Or as Chirag, I'm sure would tell you, is you can actually create a GPT that's specific to that client.
Yes.
And so in the upper left, create that new GPT, give it a profile that is that specific client. And then anytime you want to ask a question or do something with that client, use that GPT. That's the better way to segment that.
Awesome. And you can always just go back to the thread, Arthur, right? You can just go back to
Yep.
the whole thread and just put in a new property.
I've got
as long as it's structured for that particular client, not the other one. But
so if I went back to this same thread for Cherish,
yes.
I can just put the information in. And
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Super.
It's simple, right? Like, so we have one more question on the team leader training. Is the team lead after Chirag's call? How many one-on-ones? It's a group training, right? So the one-on-one call is a bonus. Normally the clients I work with individually for 3 calls, they spend $3,000 a month, but I wanted to personally talk to every person that signed up for this program. Right. It was important to give people some personalized guidance. There are a lot of people that are just going to use a call throughout the year. Right. If you want more one-on-one sessions, absolutely. Right. So look, for those of you who have questions, you can just email me about the program. And if you write in the subject line, call me, I will call you. Right. It's the easiest way. I'm happy to hop on a call with people if they have questions. Not everyone wants to share them in a group. I only work with, I believe, 10 clients at a time individually. All right, Summer, put your number in here and I'll give you a call around like 2:30 to 3.
Just
That's
quickly,
as good as an email subject line.
right? Just quickly, so there's the 4 tracks. There's the buyer track, prospecting track, seller track, team leader track. And it sounds like they're all running concurrently over 12 weeks. And I can be doing one, and then that runs for 12 weeks. Then I switch to the next one, and then that's 12 weeks.
Yes.
And then also it sounds like trying to do 2 at once is probably overwhelming. It sounds like there's going to be a lot of work to do.
Yeah, it's not that you couldn't actually, it's not like we block you out of any other track. Like you have access to jump into any track you want. You'll have a full access to the calendar, so you'll know the topics, everything for the entire year. Like when you guys join, like you'll get the calendar for the entire year come the start of January. And so we just know that based on experience, 12 weeks, if you really want to implement the prospecting stuff that we're teaching, it's not like, hey, here's a few tips. It's like, here's some new ways to actually change your habits in business, which, for a lot of people is enough to focus on to fill their week along with their other duties in client management. So we really strongly recommend that other than to jump.
The other part I'll add, Mark, is it took me more than 5 hours, and I had to have someone else also on our team help with this, just to make some of these checklists for buyers and sellers. So if it took 5 hours to create the checklist, how many hours do you really think it'll take to master all the things? If you look at these checklists that you guys actually use every day, whether you're a client and use ours or use your own, these things are pages of stuff. So if you're buying a 4 Seasons franchise, you're literally buying a proprietary operating process, but you still have to learn the whole process. It's the same thing
Right.
It's why I think personally agents are so challenged, because they think of their business in this finite 1 year game, right? Really, it's a multi-decade long career. So each year, like if you focus on just going deeper and deeper and getting better and better, your business will scale and grow because you're getting better. But what people try to do is they learn everything and all of it, and they don't do any of it. Then every year they go on this merry-go-round, right? It's like if someone says, hey, I'm interviewing another agent, they said they would do it for less. That's the same question you get every single year, but agents 10, 12, 15 years don't know how to answer it because they don't have structure, they don't know what to say, and then they never practice, right? So look, I think for all of us on here, it's a no-brainer if you show up once a week for an hour in a regular session, accountability session, that you'll get a 200% ROI. Question is, can you look at the mirror and make the investment yourself? And that's the gap, right?
Right.
We've tried to simplify this where it's as little time in as possible. We don't want you to go into all these sessions. You don't have to go to any other sessions. We built everything in here, and we continue to evolve. As Compass comes out with Client Dashboard, we'll have all of our training. We'll just give it to you. You don't have to figure anything out. It's done, right? So that's kind of where we are. We have to wrap up. We're a few minutes
Yeah, I
over.
was just gonna say, we're 6 minutes late to another
6
call that
minutes
we have to
over.
jump on, but I.
Yes. So if
Thank
you have
you,
any
guys.
questions about the program, email me. Summer, I found your Compass profile, so I will give you a call. And as always, with love in my heart, I love you all. Thank you so much for investing your time with us, and we'll see you all soon. Bye, everybody.